Hello and welcome to Eyewitness Report on Channels Television. Today, we'll take you to some Karu communities bordering the Federal Capital Territory, but with very poor infrastructure. When we generate waste and then waste the waste, that's been wasteful. Well, some young people in Enugu are beginning to tap into the business of turning waste to wealth. That's making waste useful. These and more on Eyewitness Report. I'm Chris Ilems. Enugu is set to generate about 2,000 metric tons of waste daily, 85% of which is solid waste. Now, while the abattoir churns out degradable waste, which could be further harnessed for other economic benefits, some young people are benefiting from recycling the non-degradables. Join us. It's 4 a.m. and the abattoir in Ogbete main market Enugu comes alive with activities as butchers find their way around the poorly lit facility using torchlight. They sharpen the knives and put in place all that's needed for the day's business. Even the cows to be slaughtered are set aside. The slaughterhouse, built in 1982, has a holding capacity of 500 cows and 240 retailing slabs. For almost 40 years since it started operation, the process of churning out beef here has remained the same, poor and unhygienic. With the break of dawn, a clearer picture of the abattoir, which has operated without power supply for ages, unfolds. This well provides them water for washing. Despite the poor state of the facility, buyers still come from different parts of the state in their numbers to purchase what they need. One observable trait here is the rate at which waste is generated and the seemingly lack of expertise in handling it. This results in environmental hazards and poses health risks.
We want the government to help us to expand the sewage and the drainage, rebuild it. I think you have seen it how everywhere has been littered. If the government will help us come to our aid in order to get a new modern abattoir in this central Enugu, I think we will be happy. During the season, it was a good state, because everywhere is being littered. And since, as you can see those women selling tomato, all of them there, during the rainy season, due to the type of the dirt and everywhere they litter here, it just disturb everything.
This is a very large abattoir per se, but they are lacking certain amenities that could boost the quality of the abattoir, bring it up to a certain standard. Because when I come here, if I don't come here early in the morning with my torchlight, I cannot see. Because here it looks very dark, that early morning. Then, second thing is the means of water supply to the abattoir. Because I know that water is very, very necessary in the business.
Similarly, at the artisan market, the poor meat handling process is also evident. The animals are roasted over burnt tires, and to the undiscerning consumer, he is exposed to all sorts of danger with every bite. As far as environment expert Ikenna Izeazo is concerned, relevant authorities must do everything possible to discourage the practice due to the danger it poses.
Processing of our meats can create serious environmental impacts. From the burning of tires, when you use tires to skin your animals, apart from the air pollution, the water, you are mixing all those wastes. You have a waterborne disease that are coming around that place, water pollution, then the human health. What you are putting inside the system, from the carbons to the polymers and that are used in burning those, they are all dangerous to human health. So we need to, in this period of climate change and other things, you should be, by all means, avoid burning of things like tires, and not even to talk about using them for human foods and things like that. So it's a very unhealthy practice.
Dr. Miriam Ajuba, a consultant at the Department of Community Medicine and Enugu State University Teaching Hospital, expresses concerns over the situation.
In the initial design of an abattoir, a lot has to be put in place. The siting, starting from the siting, first of all, it has to be away from where people live. It has to be, because odor that comes out from burning the carcass and all that is offensive for people. So now the abattoir itself, it has to be fitted with the necessary things to make slaughtering operations possible and move smoothly and freely. Water is a very, very important component. Everything about hygiene revolves around water availability. It has to be available 24/7, as well as light, because you need light to see what is happening, what you're doing. Water is needed for washing the floors of the abattoirs. It's needed for washing even the animals, washing the clothes of the... You can imagine how people that sell... When you tell me that this is a butcher, more like I've gotten used to knowing, yes, that's the picture of a butcher. They wear coats that are bloody, dirty, but that's not what it should be. They should also look very clean, and there's need for education for them. They need to be educated on the standard procedures for normal, optimal abattoir operations maintenance.
The state government understand what's going on and would want to see this practice put to an end, as plans appear to be underway to build more modern facilities. The Commissioner for Agriculture speaks on this.
What they have in Ogbete is more of a slaughter slab, than an abattoir. But I have visited there too to look at the situation, and we're working to improve it with the butchers. About 2 weeks ago, I had a meeting with all the butchers in Enugu State to know the state of their slaughter slabs and the place they work. And we went round and we saw things ourselves. Looking at what we have already is not adequate for a state like Enugu State. So we've come to improve on what is existing.
Patrons of the abattoir, as well as the chairman of the State Urban Butchers Associations, are excited about the new plans. But first, they crave an upgrade of the existing facility.
If an abattoir, a particular abattoir can serve 3 states at once, as you can see that abattoir is capable to serve the Enugu urban in Enugu State, in a particular state. Therefore, I am now saying that whatever government have in mind concerning the modernization of abattoir, they should start from the one cited by the government in Ogbete main market. They should start from that place to modernize them. What we need is the facilities. What we need is how to take our people wherever. Even if they decided to take us abroad to go and learn the skill on how to operate the materials, we are capable. We have people who are educated. We have people undergraduate. We have people who can be able to acquire the skill to operate it. So we are still saying it, I'm still saying it, that government have people who can do that in Enugu Urban Butchers Association.
Charles is a waste management expert. He believes government can tap into the waste to wealth initiative and convert the cow dungs to energy and generate power off the grid.
We have the population, we have the consumers, we have the cows being produced on a daily basis, and with the mechanized abattoir and a proper structure to collect the cow dung and proper manage it, we can use it to produce electricity. It's not rocket science.
Enugu, with an estimated population of 5 million people, generates over 2,000 metric tons of waste daily, with solid waste making up over 85% of the entire mass. This is creating an opportunity for some youth and women who are tapping into a waste to wealth initiative in the plastic waste recycling value chain. Hygienos is one of over 100 persons in Enugu metropolis who eke out a living from waste recycling. A dawn to dusk self-employed job with all its attendant risks. His workshop is located just on the way to the state dump site. The proximity makes it easier for these waste collectors to quickly dispose of their collections from different dump sites. With the help of the scale, he knows what every bag weighs and how much they are worth.
At times, if it is like 50 kg, we say 20 per kg. Then at times 20 times 50. Then how much do they give you?
Sorting the waste is the most tedious part of the job. This is done without protective gears by hygienos who sort into various categories such as plastic, paper, tin, metal, gloss, ceramics waste, and a lot more. He, however, wishes the work environment was more conducive and less risky.
This is unhygienic business. At times, we used to perceive very bad odor, which is not good for the health. And at times, both used to choke us in our hands or in our legs, or got me other injuries from other, and the process of separating it. So I would like the government to support us with hand glove, rain boots, and some other things. Something like overall. It would be appreciable if they can do it for us.
Tochukwu has set up a plastic crushing plant within the same area. It crushes by color of waste to make production easy for his buyers.
We need like washing machine that will be making things easy and make the material more profitable. Machines that can be washing the materials and drying it. If we can get it, it will be very easy for them, you just buy and put in your machine and work. No need of going back and washing it,
Although these young men make a living from this, their contribution towards saving the environment is obvious and commendable. A little more push from the government will go a long way in keeping the environment safe.
Regulate the profession. You can train them, give them the required equipment, PPE, to use in scavenging some of those things, so that you can save them from the exposure they are doing to themselves.
The government has to be involved in way of regulating, in the way of enforcing that people do not litter carelessly. And if they do litter and we collect the plastics in a regulated form, they can there are so many plastic companies, plastic, recycling companies that can use this, this waste, reproduce it, better crush it, and on sell it back to the guys who produce this. So it just has to be that value. This has to be that value chain of management.
The enormous potential in understanding waste and its management cannot be overemphasized. Most developed countries of the world today understand the positives in recycling and have fully embraced it. It has become a mainstay to a safer environment. Nigeria cannot pretend to live in isolation of present-day reality and the huge danger the environment faces as a result of pollution from poor handling of waste, whether biodegradable or non-degradable. The government must act fast to reduce the amount of waste sent to landfills and incinerators. This will help conserve natural resources, increase economic security, and create jobs, among others.